ngatho ni mahinda maria aratuhete gukorwo na dadi witu guka mama baba ria keri uria urari na wendo na utana uri kiriga umuhe mwathani kihuruko gitathiraga na utheri wa hingo ciothe umutheragie arohuruka uhoro ni gutwike guo ritwa ria mwathani rirogocwo.
Riu tuguthie tributes na ne tuli na tribute ya ciana ukani rore othe mena tributes moke haha nigetha twarikie no tugaingire wengi so
unene wa yusi uroka ringi ni njitagwo Anthony Kimani na nini mwana uria mukuru wa mwalimu murugami ni ngumuthomera tribute twandikite hamwe na my brothers Robert Munyui, Martin Ndungu wa Shira na Honorable Jenga. Ni baigi maritio ma dad no ige summarize in 3 words no juge dad ni arendete andu muno ni arendete family yake no rari gituge kia bare ya Kimani na ni arendete kuona kihoto ne kia huthika. He was a peacemaker and a arbitrator. Had all the hegwe, he came in very handy. Muno muno ni arendete kanyamu getagwo nyama. Nejue ni andu aingi muno murianeire kanyama nake ona guikurukia. Ni arari muguriri wa andu aingi mburi ni agurite nyingi muno. Na ni undu wa matha njitikiria thie the agenda thome tribute itu. This year's Mashujaa Day is one we will always remember in sadness. It's been a few days, Dad, but I don't think we have accepted that we won't see you again. Despite having journeyed with you during your sickness at home and in hospital, and despite you reassuring us that all will be well as God had fought your battles, this is not how we imagined you would leave us. Imagined you are leaving us would mean. It pains us to realize that you won't be there for us, your children, to take care of you after struggling to bring us up. That you won't be there to see your grandchildren blossom into the adults you kept telling them to work hard and become. Among many other things, you taught us how to be good Christians and to love one another. On your hospital bed, you kept reminding us to stay united, love one another, and that we should encourage our children to work hard so that in turn, they can take care of us when we grow up, as we did take care of him when he was sick. You touched our hearts in many ways. Even on dark days, your strength and smile made us realize we had an angel beside us. We do not know how to move on without you. We remember with nostalgia how you consoled each one of us when our late mom, may her soul continue resting in peace, left us. Buried 2.5 years ago. And how you also kept encouraging us to have faith in God and stay united even should the worst happen. You are so prepared to face death that you even drafted your biography. There are so many memories to speak about that would need many pages to fit in. Our children will miss the many boozies you slaughtered for them whenever they close school, and the gifts, including laptops, that you gave each one of them whenever they finished. You gave them even more gifts when they graduated in the universities. The latest graduate, Engineer Geoffrey came all the way from the University of Nairobi graduation pavilion to bring the degree to you at home, an act that made you very elated. Your generosity and philanthropic gestures cannot be overemphasized. We are sure most of the people congregated here can attest to this. One of the most common gifts you gave out was mbuzi. And Munyui and Jenga, who you mostly sent to the market to buy, were well known to the boozy traders, such that whenever their vehicles passed by the market, they always kept chase, even when they were just passing by. You sponsored many children by paying their school fees in different schools. You did many harambees in churches and schools, and most vividly, you chaired the development committee that is building the church we are in today. How we wish you saw its completion. The sisters staying at Kameredo Catholic Church also have their story of how you tiled their houses, bought them necessary electrical appliances like the fridge, TV, etc. And so many people that you touched in one way or the other. Dad, we feel strong and happy at the same time after knowing that you have gone to rest and that you'll never feel pain again. We spent many hours with you in hospital when you were admitted. Though you didn't talk much, the strong grip when you held our hands without letting go told a lot of how you appreciated our being there for you and didn't want us to leave. When we asked you whether you are in pain, you would smile and say, Tony, ruono rukiage. No rere mwana wa kahe no hede ciothe kuiga hui hui hui. You taught us to be strong even when big storms came. We will never forget that day you gave your hand to God and slipped away quietly without telling us bye as we prayed beside your bed few minutes after you had fed. We hope you are in a better place looking down on us and nodding your head in approval. We want to tell you and the world you'll always be in our hearts forever, and as you requested us, we will always remain united. We always wished you get better and went back to your usual businesses. It was sometimes very devastating receiving updates from your doctors at the hospital when the medical test results didn't come out as we would expect. However, we kept on praying and hopeful that our good Lord would turn around what the doctors thought was impossible. Until we meet again, you will live forever in our hearts. Go well, Dad. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Another hearty clap for Tony. That's good courage. Now we invite Steve-O.
Thank you for coming. Today we gather to honor the life of my Guka, a man who meant so much to each of us and whose legacy we live on in countless ways. He was the greatest man I've known, a source of unwavering compassion and boundless generosity. Though through every word, every gesture, Guka showed us with love and blessings that transcend the boundaries of family and reach far beyond, touching so many lives. Guka was a dedicated educator, a man who held the importance of learning close to his heart. He understood that education was more than just knowledge. It was a gift that could open doors and inspire dreams. Yet, despite his dedication to education, there was one thing he valued above all else, the gift of family. It's because of Guka that we've come to know the true spirit of family and how precious it is to stay through the highs and the lows. Today, I'm deeply grateful to be part of his legacy. As we remember him, I think of the laughter he shared with us, the wisdom in his teachings, and of course, his legendary Nyama Choma that brought us all together in joy and celebration. He will be missed, but his memory will remain a guiding light and a reminder of what it means to live fully, love deeply, and give unconditionally. Rest in power, Guka. Your spirit lives on through us, each of us, until we meet again. Love, Steve-O.
Thank you, Steve-O. Now we invite Jerry Munyui.
Praise God. My name is Bibiana Njeri Munyui, and I had an amazing grandfather. He was smart, intelligent, selfless, loving, and you always challenged me for what a colossal timekeeper you are. This was all the time, by the way. It's virtually impossible to describe what a great man you are, but you are truly exceptional. Like all your grandchildren, I feel privileged to have had the honor of being your descendants. Now that God has called you home, we accept His will, finding comfort in knowing that you are now free from pain and suffering. Your spirit will forever live on in our hearts, guiding and inspiring us. You've been our pillar and we will miss you dearly. Rest in eternal peace. And I'll sing a short chorus. Thank you. Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and adventure? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived. Thank you.
Thank you. Icio nicio ciana iria guka araci appreciataga igithoma, na thank you very much. Twina Caro, the only daughter. Yes. Neguthomerwo muirue.
Good afternoon. Niguthoma tribute ya Caro uria andikite Tanaka Meshiria to her loving daddy. This is a tribute to my dearest daddy by Caroline Wangeri Gitoga, your loving daughter. As I sit down to write this tribute, my heart is heavy, yet filled with love and gratitude for the incredible man you are. In your final days, I sensed the signs and struggled to find the courage to visit you in hospital. But I didn't because you would not have wanted me to see you in your weakest and in the point of despair, and knowing how precious our time together was. When you finally came home that Saturday, Daddy, I rushed over. Liz told you, Daddy, karwe haha. And I heard you struggling to call my name, softly saying, Eha, Karo, karwe ha, Eha. As Sophie witnessed, those were the last clear words we heard from you. It was bittersweet. Your voice, though faint, was filled with love and longing. Since Mom passed away, coming home every Thursday, and as this routine is forever closed, it feels painfully empty and broken. You'd hear my car pulling in, greet me with laughter. Our you would leave ready meat for me to be served by Betty. God bless you, Betty. And you'd open, and always when leaving, you would open the gate for me and say, bye. A thoughtful gesture that showed just how much you cared. I remember that one Thursday when you didn't, that one Thursday when you didn't ask Betty, fanya kama kawaida. And at that moment, I realized that things were not okay. Things were not normal. After Mom's passing, we only had 2 Christmases with you, Daddy. Both filled with sadness. We looked forward to a brighter Christmas this year. And now that you're gone, I feel like I'm starting all over again. Daddy, you were so brave in life that when it was my time to say I do, everyone thought that I was too young and naive. Even my priest back then, Father Gachagua. Only you believed in me. Nagetoga. Your love for family was profound. Your bond, the bond you shared with my husband, with my mother-in-law, Mwalimu, was something truly special. You called her hard times. Today, Mom, Mwalimu, wherever you are, I know she feels the weight of your absence deeply. Daddy, you were a devoted and incredible grandpa. Your commitment to us was strong, and as an award-winning educator, you never compromised on the importance of education. You were always there, a constant source of support and encouragement. Your legacy of love will live in each of us as we carry forward the lessons you taught us about kindness, perseverance, generosity, and the importance of family. Daddy, you will be missed beyond words. Your spirit will forever guide us in our lives. Thank you for being the wonderful Daddy you are, and for all the love we shared. Your friendship with my husband, Getoga, was immense, beyond in-laws, beyond Modoniwa, and more of buddies, often looking for each other for kanyama and a laugh. We will hold in your hearts, in our hearts, always. We will hold you in our hearts, always and forever. You had a special way of calling me Karo Vitu, which always brought a smile to my face. Your strictness was a testimony to how much you cared. You wanted everything done perfectly. Your sharp mind and discerning gaze, you can see it, inspired those around you. And your love for bright colors was evident, though nothing suited you quite like that classic choice of white for special occasions. Hence the choice of our dressing today. When I think of the countless mbuzis we enjoyed in our compound, I can't help but laugh at the thought of all the meals you prepared. If we could gather all the goats that you slaughtered, I am sure they would fill a huge piece of land. Nyama choma will never be the same without you serving it with such joy and overfeeding us. You took pride in ensuring that nobody left hungry, nobody left the table hungry, always wanting to see us enjoy your meals without any meat left in our hands. Sadly, when you became ill, Daddy, and lost your appetite, we struggled to find the right food for you. As your favorite meal wa meat, kanyama, na kamukimo ka bebetheri, which we could no longer serve you. Every school holiday became a cherished tradition, especially our school break mbuzi feasts. Our children would always ask, "Enda gukalini?" I can hardly count the holidays we celebrated together throughout our childhood. During these feasts, you encouraged us and our children, showering us with your blessings and overflowing love. And after Morogami graduated, he wanted to share his joy with you, his motuo, and we had our first graduation lunch together with you, Daddy. You were surprisingly calm, not stressing to eat, prompting Morogami to softly ask, "Hey, kweli Guka is sick. Hatuambii kula nyama, kula hii. Hatuambii kula chakula." Moments like this remind us of the love and the unique spirit you brought into a family gathering. I spent the last night with you, hoping to hear your wisdom one final time. You are ready for peace. That night, I massaged and squeezed your hands and legs, and wishing you would open your eyes and look at me that one last time. But you are too weak, and I knew it was time to let you rest. I whispered good night. The next day, Mashujaa Day, I held your hand and I wished you a happy Mashujaa. I stepped away to freshen up, and then I received the call that the angels had come for you. You are my Shujaa and will always be my hero, Daddy. Rest in peace. My name is Caroline. Daddy was my godfather. Caroline is my god sister and my best mate. Thank you.
Thank you. Surely you are an orator. Thank you very much. Now we invite our grandchildren or the grandchildren. Please come over. Huyu ni Morogami wa Tony. Na yeye ndiye ataanza.
Good afternoon. A man with silver in his hair and gold in his heart. A tribute to Guka. Today, as I stand here to honor the life of my grandfather, I reflect on the immense legacy he left behind. If I had to describe him, I would fall short of words. His eyes always sparked with care, with endless love to share, and his smile lightened up every room. He was truly a vibrant soul that never grew old. If you ever seen him dance to one of his classics, Jim Reeves, you might think he invented Kuanguka Nayo. Being his namesake and the firstborn of his firstborn son,
is both a blessing and a profound responsibility, by the fact that he left us on the 20th of October this year, a day marked as Mashujaa Day. It is a day when the nation stops to remember and honor our heroes, our Shujaas, those who have fought for our country, for our freedom and for our way of life. For me, there is no greater Shujaa than Guka. He was a hero in our family, standing as a strong pillar of guidance and wisdom. He taught us about resilience, love, and tradition. The fact that he passed away on Mashujaa Day feels like the last gift he gave to us, a reminder that he will always be our hero. Guka's wife, our grandmother, was his pillar of strength. They rode together into the storm of life, building a family founded on love, discipline, and harmony. Her recent death has created space in our hearts, but it soothes my soul to know that they are finally together again, watching over us as they always have. Guka, you have lived a life of purpose and honor. You instilled in us through you the values of family, love, and heritage, and the strength to bear adversities in life. You have taught us that with hard work, unity, and faith, everything is possible. Laying you to rest today, Guka, we pay our respects to your spirit, strength, and unrelenting love for family. Your legacy lives on in us, within the children, grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, and the tales yet to be told. Thank you for what you did for us. You were not just our elder, but our compass, our guide, and our ancestor. You died on the Day of Heroes. It was only fitting for you were and shall and always remain our greatest Shujaa. Rest in peace, Guka. Your soul is now with Shosho. Gai ahe mahigo ma muoyo. Until we meet again, Geoffrey Murugami Kimani. Rest well.
Tribute to my loving grandfather. My grandfather was the greatest man to ever live. Emphasis on greatest. I find it quite ironic how the Lord decided to call him on Mashujaa Day, a day to celebrate our heroes. My grandfather was my hero, and I remember telling him that right before he went to the Lord. Do you want to know why he was my hero? Well, it's simple. To my grandfather, 3 things mattered the most to him. First is God. He was very, very, very spiritual. I learned that my grandfather wasn't always Catholic, but he converted religions just so that he could marry my grandmother, and ever since, he's been a prayer warrior to the bone. Which brings me to reason number 2, family. My grandfather is the most loving, caring, and supportive man you could meet. And those here who are as quite fortunate as me to have witnessed his greatness know exactly what I'm talking about. For the 13 years I've known him, he has always been there for everyone. He has taught me so much, you have no idea. When we would have mbuzi at Shags, he would always keep stuffing more meat into your hand until your body physically couldn't handle it, just because he wanted to make sure that you had been well fed. I remember snitching on my mom to Guka with my brothers about how she would make ugali and skuma without meat. She never had the end of it. When Guka was sick and in hospital, I would massage his hand and pray for him while he slept. And even though he couldn't really speak, he would squeeze my hand just to let me know that he knew I was there and that he appreciated my presence there. That's how much he loved his family. And lastly, reason number 3 is how much he cared for education and the value of hard work. I remember when I was in grade 3, Guka came to our house for a sleepover, and he taught me grade 5 mathematics. And when I went to school and showed my teacher, she asked me, "Who taught you this?" I was more than happy to brag about my brilliant grandfather. Guka is the most hardworking person I've ever met, and the things he has been able to achieve in his life here on earth is just inspiring. He and I spoke so much about how I'd grow up and study medicine or law, and how I'll get rich and buy him a huge house, etc. I just wish our prayers were answered, and he would have been able to see me graduate, or walk down the aisle, or even have kids. Binge way, because he isn't suffering anymore, and he is healed, and I'm happy for that. Rest in eternal peace, Guka. You will be remembered. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Elsie. This is my tribute to Guka. My loving grandfather, oh how sweet your smile was, so sweet that it would make my blue days less gloomy. The words you spoke every day were full of love, from the stories you told to the great advice you gave. Oh dear Guka, I will never find another like you. Every meal we shared together was delightful. The mornings which you would wake up to wave goodbye when I was going to school were always beautiful. How you would make everyone satisfied when we shared nyama choma together was kind. How you would give us little surprises and get-togethers was a joyous experience. I am grateful to God Almighty that I got to experience your sunshine on my life. You who was brave even at your weakest, and you who always made everyone happy. You who was always there to support anyone who needed help. You who always brought the family together. You who made many of my childhood memories happen. You who guided me not only socially, but also academically and spiritually. You who always appreciated my achievements, no matter how little. You had a young, kind heart which was always ready to love. The news of your departure met me so suddenly and left me broken, but at the same time glad that you will never get to feel pain ever again, and you are reunited with our loving Shusho in God's kingdom, dancing with the angels. May God Almighty grant you everlasting peace in heaven. I surely will miss you. Rest in peace, Guka. And a tribute for Guka from Celine. She wasn't able to record a video. To my grandfather, best friend, math teacher, and life lesson teacher, I love you so much, more than words can ever express. You are one of the best people I can say that I've ever known. Knowing that you are in pain due to cancer felt awful, but now that you're in heaven, pain-free is so much better. I love you forever and always, Guka. Rest easy. Celine Dongo.
Praise God. My name is Isaac. I'm happy to see you all coming to say goodbye to our hero. And I stand in many capacities as a son, as a grandchild, because he's also my guka, and as a friend, and especially as a friend. So ever since I started living with Guka, as a young boy, growing and was unconditional until his last moments. And he taught me something, and I think it is a good takeaway home for each and every one of you. He told me that something must kill a man. Something must kill a man. So when you see issues, it is up to you to stay head high and to have integrity and to have a plan, and you'll find a way out. He became my father, so I no longer felt fatherless because he was taking care of me and he was leading me and showing me the way. So this day, even as we say goodbye to Guka, I know I have lost, but in the loss I have gained. In this way, on that Mashujaa Day, I had done a poster. I designed something, I came creative, so I had done a poster for him as a volunteer. It's a short one. On Mashujaa Day, my hero went to be with the Lord. It is hard to say goodbye to a father, a great friend, a wise counselor, a wonderful teacher, and a well-wisher who has not only stood with me, but also the society far and wide. You lived your life as a responsible and hardworking parent. You were very generous and lived an exemplary life. And as we lay you to rest, I'm glad to have had you in my life. Rest in peace, dear Papa, indeed. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day, unseen, unheard, but always near, still loved, still missed, and very dear, forever in our hearts. Mwalimu Geoffrey Murugami Kimani. To God be the glory from your dear son, Isaac. So, may God bless you.
So I'm Geoffrey Murugami Jenga, the last Murugami grandson, and the one thing I remember him telling us was, pride comes before a fall, and always be humble. And with that, let me read my tribute. Today, we honor a remarkable man who was a true pillar of our community. With unwavering discipline, he led by example, teaching us the value of hard work and purpose. His kindness touched every heart, showing us the strength of generosity and compassion. He lived with integrity, a model of good conduct that inspired respect and trust though he has left us, his legacy endures in the lives he shaped and the values he instilled in us. May we carry forward his spirit, honoring his memory in all that we do. Rest easy, Guka.
Uthamaki wa Kristo roka rĩngĩ na nĩ ngwĩtwo mũrũgami wa Mũnyui, na onani nĩ ngwĩharĩirie na kamũgwĩ gakwa, ona gũtuĩka ona igongona rĩtanambia maitũ witũ ũmwe wa arĩa marerire Guka nĩ okire ha auga atĩrĩrĩ, gũtirĩ mũndũ angĩaria cia Geoffrey Mũrũgami. Na father nake acoka auga ati, to say so much about a man is to say nothing. Rĩu ngũiguaga ta acio erĩ mekũmenya ũrĩa ngwenda kuga, to ngwenda kũrũgama haha ngiuge ũrĩa niĩ ndakĩmũĩ mũno, no rĩu anga nĩ mwanyonia niĩ ndĩrĩ o Gen Z kũrĩ arĩa makĩmũmenyete mĩaka mĩingĩ mũno. No ona with that generational gap, there are conversations that I would have with Guka that were so nourishing, and they would revolve around me telling him a story of what I have seen, who I was with, and what I have learned in school and such. So, standing here, I think it would be appropriate for me to tell him one last story on this special day, because it is not an ordinary day. Today, Guka, this is your day. Today we got up before dawn, we dressed up for you, we went to Lee to bring you home. And we were in good company. There were some of your greatest friends, there were members of the church, the community at large. We were with your brothers, we were with your sons, your daughter, and your grandchildren. We lined up to see your face one last time. It was not easy, but Guka, I was dying to see you, dying to see if you are at rest, if you are at peace, since I know it is not the same as when you were with us, but it was the only thing I have to go on, since it may be some time when we meet again in that great plain. So we came back, and now later today, in your home, in the land of your father and his father before him, we will lay you to rest. And I would like to say that Guka, you are a very special man. You are a pillar of this community, part of the scaffolding that built this community, and also to us, the family. You built a fortress around us, and we'll be forever grateful. Like a very rare gem, we will keep your memory. Thank you.
Uthamaki wa Kristo oroka. Oroka rege. This is my tribute to Guka. Guka was a very loving man who we were very lucky to have as a Guka, and who we shall miss very much. Guka has departed before I have fulfilled my promises to him, but since God also loved him, he was taken away his pain and suffering. He will continue to live in our hearts, and we will continue to cherish his memory. Rest in peace, Guka. Anthony Kimani.
Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Yeah, my name is Sarah Kimani. She is Caroline Wangeri, and it's her tribute. She's only 4 years, and it was a short time they spent together with Guka, and it was the best time ever they had. Yeah, she has a tribute. Say it, my name. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Icio nĩ ciana iria iretaga Mwalimu Guka. Ona tũngĩrendire mandĩke ĩmwe. They insisted that they want each and everyone to read his own. You know, it's part of hearing. So we pray that Bishop nĩekũtũiguĩra tondũ nĩtwakua kahinda karaya. We have brothers cia Mwalimu mena tribute ĩmwe, but they will line up here together. One of them will read the tribute. Brothers cia Mwalimu.
Utiokera mweho. Maroka. brothers cia Mwalimu iria iho maraiga nĩ maciarĩte na nĩ tũgwĩta Bishop Jenga arĩ ũmwe witũ on behalf ya brothers okay athome. Karibu Bwana Bishop.
Niĩ ngũthoma ndĩ mwana wa Mwalimu na nĩ baba njĩtagwo Bishop Jenga na ndungataga na kanitha wa Independent thĩinĩ wa Nairobi Diocese no gwitũ nĩ gũkũ Limuru. Tribute to a hero. Our dear brother Geoffrey, writing your tribute is such hard pill to swallow. The thought of never having another chance to have a good time with you is only unbelievable, but also immeasurably painful. A cheerful heart full of generosity, who graciously stood in the gap in times of adversity. Words are not enough to express how hard-pressed our hearts are as we say goodbye to you. We are grateful for the time that we shared, the beautiful memory we have created, and the bond we share. They will forever be etched in our minds. Fear thee well, brother. Death gets its power to us from sin, and sin gets its power from the law. But thanks be to God who give us the victory through Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, chapter 15, verse 56 to 57. Rest in peace, Dad. Thank you. Those are the brothers. Na leo tuna daughters-in-law. Tulikia mwana ũcio wa family. Daughters.
Good afternoon, church. A tribute to our beloved father-in-law. Today, we gather to honor and celebrate a remarkable man who has been a pillar and strength and love in our lives. As daughters-in-law, we are immensely grateful for the warmth, kindness, and unwavering support he accorded us always. From the moment we became part of his family, he embraced us with open arms, treating us as his own. His generosity had enriched our lives in countless ways, from wise advice to life's lessons, to profound insights, to lots of positive nudging and encouragement. Simply, his presence in our lives has made a profound impact on us. His home was always open to us, a home which he maintained with a lot of warmth, even after Mom's departure. We only had to miss Mom in all other ways, but not because the home was cold. Whether it was his signature nyama choma, boiled chicken, or farm produce, he was at the top of things, even when we showed up unannounced with our families. He often offered to host our relatives and friends from busy feats, so that most of them encountered his hospitality and generosity. The joy that Dad brought our lives has also been evident in the smiles of our children. He endeared them so much with gifts, rewards, at all their little and major milestones and successes. A beautiful testimony
testament to the kind of a father and a grandfather that he was. What the children may not know is that we too looked forward to the Nyamachomas over their successes with equal excitement. He has instilled in them values of compassion and strength, and for that we are forever thankful. His legacy of love, generosity, and kindness will continue to inspire us as we navigate our journeys. Today we celebrate Dad and the incredible love that he shared with all of us. May God rest his big heart and soul in eternal peace and perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. With all our love, Sophie.
Thank you very much. Leo nitukurekereria tributes na hele development committee ĩrĩa Geoffrey aratongoragia na kanitha ũyũ nĩngũmoria moke haha. Rwĩmbo rũrĩa mũkũhoete rũtikũinwo no tribute ĩgũthomwo koguo kani nginya amwe makora wĩra-inĩ wao. No rĩmwe twathiĩte tũkũrwo nĩ hinya agatwĩra wacheni nilete mbuzi. Twari abori tukariganĩrwo tugathiĩ na wĩra na mbere. So nĩ tũraigua tũrĩirwo nĩ ũndũ mũnene mũno. So Mercy.
My name is Mercy. It's quite hard to speak after family, but we thank God and we thank you for the opportunity to just pay our tribute as this committee, 25 or so of us who've been working with Mwalimu. And the only tribute, we can say so much, but as we have been told, to say much is to say little, and to say little is also to say much. So we just want to really thank God for him. Mwalimu, your determination and your focus kept us on our toes. You did not hesitate to correct us when we had assignments to carry out. You needed responses, as either results or reasons, and we had to choose results. So this much we can say, but we can just, as the leader he was, as our moderator, we'll just put the acronym Murogami to read forward to the youth and the people who will be behind us. We can only celebrate his mentorship to us. He was a mobilizer. We don't need to believe on that. You know, you've all been mobilized. You're here, and we trust that even as we sit here, as we wait for 10th, days when we are having tough meetings, he brought humor and he brought a lot to us. Responsible and reliable and truly resilient. We've really, really enjoyed his resilience. Times would come, times would be tough, but we also enjoyed unforgettable. And I think all of you can attest to his many moments that he made unforgettable. G, golden heart. He was a giver and a go-getter. And we have seen the fruits of that trait of leadership. A, ambitious, agile. Agility is when really things are tough. In numerous ways in which you were motivated. Would be going for a cup of tea for meetings. So the motivation you've talked about as his assistant moderator, he was mindful for so many ways. Times would be said, so very mindful. He didn't just take things for granted. And I is for industrious. He was impeccable with his hero, and as everyone has said, no wonder he left us on Mashujaa Day, that we'll not celebrate Mashujaa Day without remembering our hero. So our parting shot, as we continue, when we talk about leadership, we talk about succession, that it's not so much what happens when you're there, but so much what happens when you're not there. We have struggled and we continue to do, and we know that he will continue, you know, there's no gap. So we will miss him, we miss his leadership. And finally, as we finish this, the story we've been told, that the days that matter, not just the day you were born. The day you were born, we have seen it was 1938, and the day he left us on Mashujaa Day. But those are not the greatest days. The greatest day, the greatest is the dash between. What do you do with your dash? So you were born this year, you died on this other day, but that dash is the life that he has lived, and the legacy and the stories that have been told can only continue. May he rest in peace. May God strengthen us as a committee to continue enjoying that legacy. And so you're all invited to join us to keep honoring what he wanted to do. You have seen, as he was told, aroigaga maundu ario hari ari kuguo ri ona aratwariria ona hurukite haha kuguo mweri komisio turamweterera gugathi. We want to honor him not just with development but also with the faith. Uguo tuona kanitha ihurite turahoya Ngai witu atuteithie ati ona witikio ukure makiria kuguo ithuĩ to development committee ni turahoya kinya witikia ukure makiria o uria ngirendire. May God bless you all for being here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless you, Father.
Thengio muno no turathi na mbere gukenerera ukiririria wanyu no tukumuhoya ndeka ingi cigana ona gwita mundu uria gutucokeria ngatho na twacokeria ngatho tikambe guthie he undu umwe utigarite koguo the one who is moving the vote of thanks kindly come forward, and then you could also take the opportunity to give us the directions to the grave site.
Tumukumia Yesu Kristo mwathani agoshwo Ngai ni mwega ritwa no waroru wake mani wa murugami na ni mukiuru na muthuri uhurukite haha ni muru wa maitu na ni munyinyi wake na ni turendaine nake muno ona muthenya ucio ahurukaga ahurukire tunyitanite nake ndeto haha handu ha family jokia ngatho no ndu wa magegania maria tuonete kuma kwa wendo rwanyu. Wa mbere tungicokeria Ngai witu ngatho uria watweire mwalimu murugami miaka iyo tuikarite nake na agakorwo agiturora na agaturorera mwalimu murugami na akamuhe iheo icio ciothe amuhete. Kuri ingi maciarirwo hindi iyo na matiakinyire hau ona matiaheirwo ta iheo icio ihetwo ni murugami. Koguo tugagucokeria Ngai ngatho no ndu wa kiheo kia mwalimu murugami na tugakoria umwe kihuruko kiega koguo aturite etereire. Ucio ngi ni tukua kamweke gaka tucokerie kanitha ngatho makiria bishop witu David ni tuwe wa mucie witu muno ona hindi yo murugami arari hatikaine nurokiro aramuhaka maguta ma kuhonia andu ingi mametaga maguta mundu ona gatekuhakwa gakue uguo tikuagwo ni no ta sakramenti iria ingi. Koguo nitugucokeria ngatho ni matuku mario tuhete magukorwo wina mwalimu murugami nitwagucokeria ngatho tucokeria father in charge tondu ni akoretwo hamwe na ithuĩ kinya riria okire guku kuma ria murugami ahurukire mweri ucio 20 tukoretwo twina mitha o muthenya tucokerie fathers othe aria makoretwo mekuo ngatho tondu mukoretwo mugitunyitirira muno ona ngimagarakaga mitha o muthenya ona mategutwira fathers nitwamucokeria ngatho no ndu wa rwendo ruu muratuhete na muthie na mbere gutuhoera nitukwenda mahoya makinyu muno. Kwani ndiramucokeria ngatho ni uria mwatuinira na uria mukoretwo mugituinira ria tukoretwo twina magongona maya ni mukoretwo na ithuĩ miaki-ini ni mukoretwo twi hamwe chachi kana committee members ni mwabangire macaka ma mwalimu murugami na njira ya mwanya muno ati o muthenya mwaki ni uratongoragia na tutire twaga mwaki ona muthenya omwe uguka gutongoria miaki itu yothe ya St Joseph murorathimwo na spirit iyo ithie giakanaga. Tweka mweke gaka njuke kwi family itongoretio ni Tony na ndimwire na njira ya mwanya twina Tony twina thibitari murugamia baba wa twirire inywe mwi hau muti undu no mwongerema na ndiracokeria ngatho Tony wira uria twahetwo ni kukinyora kinya ni mutwikite cooperative muno thiini wa kamiti iria ciothe tuthiite maundu maingi ni mutwikeire muno twoka tugiciria tutiaciragia ni tuguthika murugami tweciragia tukwamba gucaria biru ya thibitari no family kirugama ikiuga thibitari bill yothe ni mekuriha na niguo mekite koguo ni motukenetie muno mundu gwitwo Njenga na uria mukoretwo tunyitanire nawe tutire turaheana wira tugiuka kuripota gwi kamiti ono mwoga korwo tariho family yothe ataraji ya mbare ya murugami ni mukoretwo mwe hamwe na ithuĩ muno na mugatunyitirira nengenete muno ni uria tunyitanire na inyuĩ na uria tukoretwo tugika our chairman wa kamiti bwana John Gikonyo ni gucokeria ngatho cia mwanya muno tondu mundu gwitwo mwarimu murugami toguo mwaigwa ni ta mundu reheragiria uria gathie aigire komiti ya atongoretie mathiko ma nyina wa Toni ithie na mbere na mwarimu Gikonyo by coincident ni wari chairman koguo ndia turathire guthurana tutiri undu ungi tungiekire no Gikonyo no John Gikonyo arikie wira ucio na ni thengio tono tukinyitie wega ndutukumite na ni tutwarite wega muno 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 Ngai akurathime na family yaku ni rwendo riu mukoretwo mwe na ithuĩ tonda hindwe my brother hurukaga twari na inyuĩ twina itha wa ceke uthi na mbere gutwenda na riu tondu gapu ya murugami ndiriho na ciana ici ni kuhete gitio ugakiragia ruga cia kuona ikora ta murugami hakuĩ ukorwo hau gakuĩ na ithuĩ muno ndiragucokeria ngatho na kamiti ĩrĩa yothe koretwo twina cio turakoragwo na kamiti o muthenya na kundu kuu turakorwo tuihurite tari macaka twina mo tukoretwo twina ihinda riega muno ria kamiti ni uria mutunyitiriire wega muno ngurubu iria ciukite gwitu kana kwa mwarimu murugami ni ngurubu nyingi to ni muri ngurubu nyingi ndingihota gucigweta ni nyingi na company nyingi na ni mututeithiriirie muno 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 ngurubu icio ciothe mundu gwitwo John aingĩ nĩ members a Ndangira a Limuru acio othe wamona mera on behalf ya family nĩ tucoketie ngatho nĩ ũrĩa mũtunyitĩrĩire na ũrĩa mũtwĩkĩte wega turarĩ na andũ maratuheaga gĩa kũrĩa on daily basis arĩa maraturagĩra kũrĩa arĩa mũrakoragwo kũu nĩ mũrona ũrĩa maraturugagĩra tũirio twega tũrakoragwo twĩ fresh Karo on behalf yao ũthiũ mera ithuĩ ta family nĩ twamacokeria ngatho ni ũrĩa maratuhire wĩra mwega na Ngai amarathime no ũndũ wa wĩra ũcio mararutaga flow ya macaka ya toria tuga muti mundu koragwo na kindu ni tukoretwo tugitumirwo mucumari hana hale hagi na hana hale hagi mundu wothe ututumeire kindu ni turacokia ngatho ona deputy president ari okuri arari no aratumite mucumari waku no wakinyire na ingi miingi tumitwo ni thiete gikinyite gutire mundu uratuma gwakaraga gukinyia othe matuhete indo ciao ni tucoketie ngatho ona tiga gutuhe mbeca ni mutuhete mathaa manyu taru mathaa maria mandu ayo gitungime value tungire mbia cigana koguo tuwe ngatho citu rondu wa mathaa macio manyu mutuhete ni magoro muno korwo ni mbeca mungombeire ni tungia mucokeria no mathaa maya gutire mundu no mwongihota kumuriha no Ngai amurihe athina mbere kumuriha to ni amwikite wega ndi tukoretwo to muthe tugithi kwigira mwiro wa my brother tumire guku turi aingi muno ngari iria ciothe tuma nacio tugithie kuria tuma kugirana ngari ciuma nyingi tucokeria andu ame gutuhete ngari ciao ona maguta tutinetio tucokeria ona principal wa Geni High School ni aratucaririe ngari koguo othe aria matuhete ngari icio iguturutire wira ucio ni twamucokeria ngatho cia mwanya muno thini wa security ni ndona cibo guku ni twari na borithi kana polisi iraturaga guku kuma hwae ikigitira guku na ikigitira kuu kungi security ni tumionete itugitirite muno na thiete wega koguo ni nguria mundu gwitwo chief athie na mbere na kuruta wira ucio wa security ira tukite na security njega muno 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 kuri andu aria maratuhete hama kana hama iria murona murutite kuria kana iria irenda kuria na iteci ciothe tuikarĩire koguo ni turamucokeria ngatho tondu tuma na sitting njega muno ndirona andu magite itikinya ndagika ino ni turacokia ngatho no na njira ya mwanya ni turacokia ngatho no ndu wa ndagitari iria ikoretwo ikirora mwarimu murugami na makiria professor Kaigi no ramaheaga directive na no ratucaririe the best doctors tondu korwo murugami kurakuagwo nä ndagätarä ndangärakuire tå rarä na kinya profesa
by Senator
å guo
Catherine.
twoka igiri nä wa
You know,
bamä
Mr. Speaker, I have only one request, and my request actually, Senator Catherine, is to our judiciary.
ndagätarä iria ciothe ihutä tie mwarimå må rå gami na njä ra ä no kana ä rä ä ngä mwä tä kä re muoe ngatho citå nä tå kenete må no kwä harä a tå gå twara mwä rä wa my brother mwarimå må rå gami kå rä arä a marathondekire wä ra å cio na makä ria må thuri å rä raka kanitha ä no ä no ä rakwo nä må thuri wa ndaimä te rå raya å imä te o haha itå ngarariga koguo na no ratå thondekeire irima na rä u araigire no ndå wa ndå gå yana må rå gami ndarä kä ndå ona kä agwä tia harä å rä woe ngatho cia bamä na citå icirua nä tå gå cokeirie ngatho no ndå wa maå ndå mothe ngä rä kä rä ria må ndå wothe itanacokeria ngatho nä twagå cokeria ngatho na njä ra ä yo ĩngĩ na ĩrĩa ĩngĩ å gä korwo we nä å tå nyitä rä ire må no na njä ra ä yo na mahoya marä a tå taronaga oya ngatho citå kå rä a guothe å twä kä te kaå ndå kega ngai akå rathime
Proceed.
na må tumia å cio warä wa ndigwa nä akoretwo ena thirä na ciana ciake igå tuä ka nä ikå nyitwo ituä ke ngombo nä getha irehe thirä å rä kå nä getha irehe thirä å cio å guo mwaigua mwarimå må rå gami ararä må ndå
on the killing of Mr. Edward Cairo by an officer of the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, ASTU, of the Administration Police Service at Irmolelian sub-location in Narok County. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53, I rise to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the killing of one Mr. Edward Cairo, a Form 3 student at Larmudiak High School, by Inspector George Rukunga, the officer in charge at the Kiramba Anti-Stock Theft Unit, ASTU, camp at Irmolelian sub-location in Narok County on the 28th of October 2024. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should report on the circumstances that led to the fatal shooting of Mr. Edward Cairo by Inspector George Rukonga, stating whether the ASTU officer was acting under orders, and if so, provide evidence of the same. Number two, provide a status update on investigations by the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, into the incident, outlining disciplinary actions taken against culpable police officers, and finally, state measures put in place to ensure that the family of the late Mr. Cairo get justice for the killing of their son. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddie, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, as you have seen the concern of people in this House with regards to a number of killings that have been going on in the country, especially of women, I wish to rise on point of order, understanding order number 37, and basically beg to give a notice of the following motion, Mr. Speaker, that pursuant to standing order number 37, the Senate do now adjourn to discuss a definite matter of urgent national importance, namely the rising cases of violent murder in the country, mainly targeting young women and girls, the most recent being the murder of 3 young women in Isili on 22nd October 2024, Dahabo Dawood Sahid, Amina Abdi Rashid Dahir, and Nusaiba Abdi Mohamed, and a 23-year-old girl, Mrs. Seth Nyakio, in Thika, Kiambu County, on 14th October 2024. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, I do ascertain the requisite threshold has been met, and therefore the House will adjourn at 5:30 to discuss this motion.
Now, before I call the next order, allow me to make the following communication. Now, honorable senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, students from Starehe Boys Center and Kianda School who are undertaking a 2 weeks voluntary service scheme in the Senate. Honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate, on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will allow the minority leader and the majority leader, both speaking under 1 minute, to extend words of welcome. Minority leader. You can pass it to a former student if you are not prepared to do.
Okay, yes. Not prepared? Welcome.
Proceed.
I'm surprised. Starehe and Kianda, being schools in Nairobi, I would want to welcome them, but I believe we have the distinguished senator from Nairobi, my brother, Senator Sifuna, and I would like to give this opportunity to Sifuna to do the welcoming remarks. Thank you.
The majority leader, then I will give the senator for Nairobi his time to extend words of welcome. You need not donate any time to him.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of my colleagues in this House, I join you in welcoming these students from Starehe and Kianda School to the Senate, who are on, I believe, a study tour. They have found us in the midst of business today, discussing statements. Should they hang around a little bit longer, Mr. Speaker, they'll see us transact other business, either business at the committee of the whole, or even dispensing of with a motion that is down the order paper. Mr. Speaker, I wish them well in their studies. I celebrate these great institutions that have produced Kenyans of great distinction who continue to serve this country and even beyond its boundaries. So I welcome them, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Nairobi.
Thank you, Speaker. I wish to confirm that these two top schools in Nairobi are, I think, the first schools to be welcomed to this chamber by 3 senators in a row. And it is in recognition of their outstanding performance. Of course, Kianda and Starehe don't need introduction to anybody in this country. They are top institutions of learning, and we want to welcome all of you to this chamber to see for yourselves what we do here, and we hope every day that we as the leadership in Nairobi will make you proud. The majority leader was saying that it was right for you to deny me the opportunity to welcome them because I went to some school in the bush. But Honorable Speaker, I am also testament that for as long as you work hard, it doesn't matter your circumstances.
Na hindi ciothe
You will end up with
ngeithia iciarĩra mwathani agocwo rĩngĩ mũthikabu witũ niĩ ndoka tondũ mũthuri ũyũ ũkomete haha Mwalimu Geoffrey mũrũgami nĩ mũrata wakwa wa mĩaka mĩingĩ. Twamenyanire nake mĩaka 30 ĩhĩtũkĩte, 30 years ago, na niĩ nĩ njũĩ kũrĩmĩra ndũgũ na ngacokeria Ngai ngatho atĩ nĩ ndona kanya ga gũka kũmugĩra ũhoro, gũka kũmumagaria na gĩtĩo. Mũthuri ũrutĩte wĩra mũingĩ mũno. Mũthuri ũyũ twamenyanire nake DDO wa Kiamba, arĩ secretary wa Gatagua Farmers. Nĩmũkũririkana? Na secretary wa Gatagua Farmers mena chairman wetagwo Njohĩgu, mũthuri wa harĩa Ndũmberi. Nĩmarutire wĩra mũnene mũno wa gũtũria kambuni ĩyo. Kambuni iria ingĩ ciothe cia mĩgũnda, Boy Committee, Kiamba Kawaida, Gatono, ciothe ciairwo ikĩninwo. Mũthuri ũyũ na athuri acio marĩ nao makĩrũgamĩrĩra Gatagua Farmers ikirugama na twage andu hau ndacokire ngioka ngituika ndio guku Limuru wiro cio warutwo haha wa nyama choma kai mburi cia muthuri uyu nindite nyingi wandu kuhurwo ni mikora na gutiari borithi mwalimu uyu komete hanwe wokire akijeta gwake hwaini agita itura agitongoria tugiaka police post tukirehe borithi iria aramurangira nginya umuthi uyu na wira ucio twarutire na mwalimu uyu wira wake wa githomo guku Limuru ni wikaine koguo tuge ciiko cia mundu njega imurumagirira nginya matu-ini na nikio okite guthikwo ni muthikabu ni undu wa witikio wake na wira wake kanitha-ini wa Catholic koguo ni ndoka na mutarako andu a Limuru kunyitanira na inywe muthuri uyu ni aranjuragia ethibitari na ndiracererwo na no ndiraiguaga ndina ngoro ya guthii kumuona muthenya umwe ndokire kwa ithe wa Njenga ndungu wa Njenga kumucerera agicokia muno akiuria Gachagua na ni murata wakwa auma kwa ndungu wa Njenga na agiukira haha kirume kabaru ngiuga no ndiuka no nake tutiuragia Ngai kiuria twitikirite wendi wake. The family of Mwalimu Clement gitirai gitio kia muthuri uyu ciana ciake tucucu ni ndamwona tucukuru mugitire gitio kia muthuri uyu muturie ritwa riake ni wira uria mwega aturutire na nie ndina wira father ati muthuri uyu arari mutana utana wake nie ni ndiuwe. He was very generous and very kind. Na dio niki giatumite atue ate nyama niguo twana uria munene muno na guinya ciana ciake haha tucucu ni ciaruta ki wira kou batu-ini twa tutikire twagethie agikorwo ni kuri nyama akaigirwo karuharu ngirikia to ndikwenda kwaria muno bishop ni ndirarutire wira munene muno wa kuhurana na njohi njuragani ni uhoro wa ma na njohi okuma rira ndajirie guthigithwo njohi okuma rira ndajirie guthigithwo ni anjitie gucoka niguo iragwo yari iria yekate ndirarutire wira wa kuhurana na njohi miaka iri tondu nyumba itu ni guthira irathiraga na rira ndajirie guthigithwo na tini ndirathigithwo ni nyumba nigetha nyumba itu ikete gwenda kuria andu aria me thirikari-ini chiefs and assistant chiefs police tafadhali musikubali hii pombe ilikuwa naua watoto wetu irudi. Ni kazi kubwa sana tumefanya na kungituika wira ucio wothe ukurira thi ati nyingi ciana citu icoke mitaro ikanywe njohi mwana wa kahi athire uguo father Gachagua huji haha ithuĩ nĩ twahotereirio nĩ atumia na nĩ twetikirire niĩ father Gachagua niĩ ndĩ wa kanitha waku wa kuga atiriri atumia nĩ mathaithwo niĩ wakwa ndĩ mũthaithaga rũcinĩ na hwainĩ ndakae kũnjũkĩrĩra tondũ ndingĩaga thayũ mũciĩ maũndũ makwa nĩ mekate tondũ gũkũ nja nĩ kũũru mũno rĩu ũrenda maũndũ maritũhana gũkũ nja rĩ ũkona gwa gwĩkate koguo niĩ father Gachagua ndendekania nawe na niĩ wakwa ndĩ mũthaithaga mũno nyina Gachagua ona ngĩrethĩrwo na itehĩtie ngauga ndendetĩkĩra mahĩtia nĩguo nyone tha mwana wa kahi hatikaine mbegu itu, the seed carrier, the boy child is in trouble. You may push Rigathi Gachagua around, but please let the work that he did for 2 years of saving the boy child remain. Leaders come and go. Okay, jugia trere. You are doing more adoge. Kuri odu mutoi. Mura mathoma meba. Mukire ki na mutikarie. Unajua kuna watu walikuwa wanasema na huyu Rigathi Gachagua hana wafuasi Mlima Kenya. Mbona watu watoki kwa barabara? Hawakishi moto, hapigi kelele. Hiyo si tabia yetu. Sisi si watu ya kwenda barabara. Sisi si watu ya kuhakisha tairi, sisi watu ya kupiga kelele. Sisi tukiona tunanyama. Iko siku tunafanyanga vile natakika. Ile mtu yomulenyo osho ni uliko. Mukira ki moyomererie. Twahurirwo na muthugu tukiomereria. Tutire twariganirwo. Tukihurwo ni moi miaka 24 tutire twariganirwo. Ona maya tutirigane. Mutumie mukire ki. Mucoke mawira. Muthenya wake amani uri ikinya. Katiguo. Na niye gikeno giakwa ri. Wajumbe mumeona siku hizi ampewi nafasi kuongea. Kwa sababu ile tabia mmefanya pale bunge imekasirisha raia. Katiguo andũ aitũ. Ndiraiguire acimua maratwĩkire gũtirĩ handũ marĩaragia. Niĩ njuge atĩrĩrĩ, gĩkeno gĩakwa gũkũ Kiambu gwĩkura mwahũrire ya seneta wĩtagwo Karũngo wa Thang'wa. Ĩyo ũcio mwanake ndangĩgũrwo mbeca ona cigana ndangĩendia rũrĩrĩ. Mũkamũhoyagĩra mũkamũririkanaga na gathoni wa mũcomba. Na mwanake ũngĩ wa harĩa Juja wĩtagwo George Koimbũri. Cio nĩ itungati cia rũrĩrĩ. Ithuĩ tũtirĩ na ũru na mũndũ, ithuĩ tũracaria kĩhoto. Turauga mũingatwo na Njũgũma nĩ acoka, no mũingatwo na kĩhoto ndacokaga. We have faith that our judiciary will protect and uphold the Constitution of Kenya and will exercise fairness and give justice to Rigathi Gachagua and his supporters. That is our prayer. But I want to ask for peace, more so to my people of the Mount Kenya region. Please remain peaceful. Love one another. Stay well with all other regions and communities. They have not wronged us. They are our friends. Kenya is bigger than all of us. And we don't have another Kenya. We only have one Kenya. And I want to say, irrespective of what will happen, the outcome of the court process, let our people remain peaceful and build our country. A time will come for us to speak. Na mutikamake mukiri owo kuri okawudu jowe neguo mukireke no ithuĩ tware kuo no ithuĩ teke maũndũ ma nyũmba ĩno itũ nĩtũkũbanga wega na mũtigecire nĩ ndĩrahũrwo nĩ mũĩ nĩtũkwĩbanga we na tũtirĩ akĩgu na mũkungia akorire ũ koguo inyuĩ mũhorere na MC ũgwĩtwo Nduta anyitĩrwo ĩno nĩ njamba ĩno nĩ ageragia mũno ndĩmwendete mũno koguo thengio mũno twĩna mwathi arĩ mheshimiwa wanyu gũkũ nĩnguonete mheshimiwa Teresia Wanjirũ ũyũ nĩ nominated MCA nĩnguonete Judy Jomo gũkũ mheshimiwa Judy Jomo wa kũrĩa Kiambu twĩna mheshimiwa Karicho Twina baba yao Waititu. Twina Nugari. Thengio andũ aitũ, na thengio nĩ kũhoera na mũthiĩ na mbere na kũhoera. Nĩmũgũtũhoera na nĩ ndĩmwendete, na rĩu ũngĩthikĩrĩria thitango iria ndathitĩtwo seneti ĩmwe ya hiũ rĩ, atĩ nĩnyendete andũ aitũ. Nĩmwaiguire atĩ nĩnjaragia Gĩkũyũ ndoka kũrĩ andũ aitũ, atĩ nĩndĩrauga atĩrĩrĩ andũ matikamomorerwo matarĩ na kũndũ gwa gũthiĩ, atĩ nĩndĩrauga andũ matikaingatwo marigiti kũrĩa maikarĩte mĩaka 50. Icio nĩcio thitango iria mwana wanyu arahũrĩrwo, kwenda andũ na gwĩciria ũhoro wao. Ona ithuĩ tũkauga acio mothe marĩ okuo rĩ, Ngai arĩ oke, arĩ o gĩtĩ-inĩ gĩake kĩonene na gĩa ũthingu, na Ngai ndahotagwo. Ithuĩ mũgĩe na thayũ, mũgĩe na thayũ, mũgĩe na thayũ. Ũndũ arĩ mũru, mwarimũ ũyũ nĩ mũrata witũ na bamĩrĩ. Nĩndaigua nĩ mũkũgĩa na kaũndũ nĩ ũndũ wa kũrĩkia wĩra ũrĩa mwarimũ aratigĩtie. Clement mũgũkĩnjĩtwo na niĩ ndĩ wa bamĩrĩ ĩno yanyu. So Father Gachagua, nyinũke nĩgetha ngĩgereire nyina Gachagua ĩ, ndagakĩũrie ngĩthire kũ mathaa macio mothe. Na nĩtũkenaga tuona athuri aya Ndũng'ũ wa Njenga, athuri aya marutire wĩra mũnene mũno wa bũrũri ũyũ. Tũkenaga mũno twamona, tũgacokeria Ngai ngatho twamona mena hinya nĩ wĩra ũrĩa marutire makĩrutĩra bũrũri ũyũ witũ. Koguo inyuĩ mũgĩe na thayũ, na kwaya nĩ mwaina wega, nĩndakena mũno. Thank you very much. Nĩ mũkũgeithania mwainũka? Nĩ mũkũgeithania? Ngai witũ amũrathime, amwĩke wega, amwararamĩrie mĩhaka, mũrore magũkumia, amũgitĩre kuma kwĩ ndwari, mĩciĩ yanyu yurage irathimo ihiana mbura njega. Mwalimu witũ wathiĩ na wega, wakinya kũu matu-inĩ ũgeithia arĩa mathire tene, na nĩtwakena mũno nĩ kũheo kanya gaka. Clement, I'm your friend. If there is anything I can do for this family, I'm there for you. Ngai witũ amũrathime.
Asante sana Your Excellency. Nitaomba tuketi niwape utaratibu wa kutoka. Nĩtũgũkũra na gũkorwo kuo kwa Mũthamaki Thiong'o. Mũthamaki Thiong'o, twamũkĩre ngeithi cia Mũthamaki. Asante sana. Nĩngũria members cia CMA nĩ mũkũhoete rwĩmbo no